Welcome to another episode of Learn from People Who Lived It.
Well, hi there. It's Matthew Blade, speaker, leadership coach, and former broadcaster. And this is the show that's all about when life becomes the teacher. And today we are going to be talking about comparison. And we're going to do so with Dr. Anna Marie Frank, who's on the right side of me right now. And I looked this up before we got going, Dr. Anna Marie, and it says comparison can trigger anxiety, low self-esteem, and chronic dissatisfaction. But other than that, it's awesome. So I'm glad that you want to bring this topic to the table today because it's a dangerous thing that we do. And I have to believe, like anything, there's some good and there's some bad associated with comparison. And so what prompted you? What was going on in your life that made you feel like this Monday, this President's Day, we must discuss comparison?
Well, it comes up quite often. And as a business owner, it's interesting. Like sometimes my employees will bring to my attention another wellness center opening up in our town. Or did you see what this person did? Like, you know, they're doing it like you are. And it's like, listen, this is good. Like when we are looking to other people for inspiration or other people are looking to you for inspiration, that's where it can be wonderful, right? Inspiration. But when we step into comparing, they're doing it better than me. I should do it just like that. Them doing the thing they're doing means that I'm not good enough, means that I should be doing things differently. When we give it a meaning that directly reflects back to us, that there's something lacking in us, that's where it gets dangerous.
So how do you find yourself using it now? How do you find yourself using it 5 years ago?
Well, 5 years ago, I would look at what other people were doing. I would feel jealousy. I would feel that I'm lacking. I'm not doing enough. I would also be like, oh, well, that's easy for them because, and I would come up with an excuse of why they're better able to do something that, you know, I'm not doing. And I don't know where I learned it, but either somebody said this to me or I heard it, something to the fact that when you feel jealousy, when you're looking at somebody else and there's this instinct of jealousy happening, it's really a reflection of you seeing something in them that you are actually capable of. You just haven't gotten there yet. And so that was really eye-opening to me, that really jealousy is a signal that, hey, you can do this too. And you have that within you. Now, the comparison aspect that comes in, it's really a fine line because when you find yourself comparing, most likely you're finding yourself feeling jealous. And so now when I look at other people or what they're doing and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I tell my employees all the time, I'm like, that is so cool that they're doing that. This brings more attention and awareness to holistic health. Like we should have one of these on every single corner, just like a Starbucks. They look at me like, are you crazy? But here's the thing is back when I first opened, I had somebody renting space from me in my wellness center. And they were renting space from me and they had a service they offered. And then we had all our services. And we would recommend people to utilize their service and treat them just as if they were our client as well. Well, what happened is this person ended up leaving my space and went down the street and opened up a space with like 3 of the other services that we were offering. Before they left, they got onto the computer and they sent out an email to all the clients like, hey, we're moving. And my coach at the time sent me an email. She said, you guys are moving? You're moving your business? You just opened. And I was like, no, I had no idea. I got so upset. I got jealous. I was looking up the website. I'm like, oh my gosh, like they have these things that we have. And I was comparing like what they were doing to what we were doing. And my coach said the best thing to me. She was like, Anna Marie, they are going to do it their own way. And they are not you. So your clients will stay with you. And the ones that don't, that's like, they're not meant to be, but like, They are not you. So it's that unique soul blueprint that we all have of how we show up, how we do things. And if we're in alignment with what our soul calling is, you cannot fail. And comparing ourselves to other people it's really silly because you have your own blueprint within you of how you're supposed to be showing up in the world. And that compares to no one. It really
Right.
doesn't. And so it's a learning process. And, I think that a natural instinct is to go, because we live in the society of pretty much competition over collaboration is the society we live in. And we live in a society that says, well, there's lack, there's not enough business to go around when there's plenty of business to go around. So it's like stepping
Mm.
into that abundant mindset. But this is something I've had to work on, actively work on.
So the question that's going through my mind, and by the way, for those that have just joined us, we're on with Dr. Anna Marie Frank, author of Stop Bullying Yourself, and she's got her wellness center, as she's mentioned a couple of times, in Bakersfield. Here's the question I want to ask you is, how do I know when I'm starting to enter, like if comparison is a room in my house, how do I know when I'm walking through that door? What are some signals that you found maybe for yourself or in some of the clients that you're working with where, hey, you're starting to do that comparing thing again? Because I think it's subtle for a lot of us. Like I know it's subtle for me sometimes.
Yes. Yes, it definitely shows up. It's when we start to feel a little anxious, when we start
Mm,
to feel like I
great.
need to rush to do something, like I need to rush to
Okay.
do something, I need to fix something, I need to, at least this is what I have found for me. Oh, I need to put up another blog post. Oh, I need to put out another podcast. Oh, I need to, like it's like we go into sometimes action mode to try to control the situation. Then there's some people that can go into more of a depressive mode of I'm going to go be by myself and feel bad and, really exclude myself. So those are and those are two different ways to handle comparison. And I've been on both ends of them, by the way. The going by myself and like just like bringing myself away from any situation. That was probably me 15 years ago when I struggled with depression. So it was like I would see like people doing all these things and I'd be like, oh, that's not available to me and feel bad for myself and go have a pity party for me and be super depressed about it. And then now, there's a different level of comparison of if it shows up, sometimes it's like the signal and it comes in and then it's like all of a sudden we're trying to control things and do a bunch of extra things. And, it's like a scramble. So those are the two that I can say that for me, that's how they've shown up for me. I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but that's how it's come into my field.
Yeah, I want to flip this now and just talk about, because look, like anything, there's an upside to it, right? Too. And I think back to my radio and television days, look, I had a decent amount of success in my career. And I think one of the things that made me successful was my ability to look at other radio shows or other TV shows and compare, kind of stack up. Where is mine to theirs? Are they doing things that I'm not? But then I want to pause and say, like, I also understand that this can be a really slippery slope because you can move away from your authenticity and you can get off of your road and you can start to drive down their road. But the problem is you have no idea where they've been before or where they actually
Mhm.
want to go in the future. You only know this for yourself. And so let's talk a little bit about using comparison in a healthy way, because
Mhm.
I know that's out there too.
Yeah. I think when it's comparing to learn something and to gain something, like you can look at somebody else hosting a podcast and listen to their questions and be like, dang, they are great at asking questions, and try to gain some nuggets of how they're asking the questions and the type of questions they're asking. And you can look at that and say, wow, how can I start to deepen and enhance the questions I'm asking on my podcast? Uh,
Yes.
like that's a very valuable tool, right? To get in to learn something. Like they're doing something at a level that you're like, wow. And when you're not comparing, you're looking at it as like, okay, I want to learn that. when you're going to comparing, you're saying, I want to be just like that. I want to be that. That's where I find the distinction is like, it's looking to somebody and seeing what they're doing. And it's like, oh my gosh, how did they do that? That is so cool. Like, I want to do something similar to that, and learning how to get to that mastery versus how do I show up and I need to be just like that. I need to ask the questions just like them. I need to. It's very different energy.
That's so cool. I like how we're kind of deconstructing this, because I hope that the folks who are watching us right now will find themselves probably later on today. And this is one of the dangers of social media, is they're going to get online, they're going to be looking at somebody and they're going to say, wow, man, like I wish I was them, or I wish I had that, or I wish I could do that. And what we're suggesting, if I'm hearing you correctly, is to sort of hit the pause button on that. And it's almost like more of a, like, I like how you said learning, or it's a curious tone that we take. How did they get that? What did they do to achieve that? Does that sound like what you're saying to me? Am I hearing you right?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I like it.
And if you're feeling that tinge of jealousy, right? Because that's when the jealousy steps in, is when you're tipping the scale a little bit. When that steps in, be like, interesting.
Yeah.
This is signaling something to me. Wow, they are doing this thing and I'm feeling jealous around it. Is there something around that space that ultimately I feel like I want to be stepping into in my heart, and I just haven't taken the step? I haven't like done it. So use jealousy as a signal of there's something within you that they're reflecting back to you, an aspect of you that you're not tapping into. Or maybe you've already
I love
tapped
that.
into it. You're just not at the space at the level of mastery that they're at. And that's okay
Sure.
too.
Right. And I'll say it another way. Like, you could watch a podcast like this, like you and I are on, and somebody from the outside could look at a guy like me who's hosting and be like, I want to do that. I want to be able to do what he does. Well, you forget that I have 140,000 hours of broadcast time behind me. I have done this for a very long time. You look at
Yeah.
Dr. Anna Marie Frank and you say, God, I wish I knew everything that she knew or knows. And it's like, yeah, she's got 1,000 certifications and a PhD. Like it took some time to get where she is. I want to ask you about different aspects of comparison. And I don't know if this is a male female thing, and I don't even know if I want to go down that road, but do you think people find themselves comparing physically, emotionally, spiritually? What lane do you think most people are comparing themselves and stacking themselves up against other people?
Yeah, I think it's definitely physically and monetary first.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast or somebody talking. I think it was Cody Sanchez. She was interviewing someone. Oh, I can't remember. Anyways, this person was saying about how, back in the day, we would try to keep up with the Joneses, meaning you were in your neighborhood, you saw, down the street, she was using like, you have your binoculars, and down the street, you see they got a new car or they got a new washer and dryer or something's being delivered to their house, right? And so that was like the keeping up with the Joneses. Well, now it is amplified extremely. You have this phone in your hand and you are seeing the inside of people's private jets. You are seeing the inside of their multi-million-dollar homes. And that becomes the new keeping up with the Joneses. Not the, I got a new station wagon. Not I got a new washer and dryer.
A new front door.
Like a new front door or a paint job, right? I mean, the level of comparison that from what we used to compare to, and that was only if you lived in that neighborhood, by the way. Like depending on your neighborhood that you lived in, somebody might have gotten a new pair of sneakers and you're like, dang, I need some new sneaks, right? Or, a new CD player, a Walkman. I mean, this is like to a level that can leave a lot of people feeling so far from the level of success that they think that they should be at, when it's just it's wild, that space in between. I mean, it is absolutely insane. And so I think that does a number on us psychologically, especially when we are looking on Instagram and we are seeing the curated 1% filtered of what is going on, because it's not real life.
Here's a good question for us. And by the way, for the folks that are watching, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a show. We're with Dr. Anna Marie Frank every single Monday at 12:30. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll be back with Courtney McDermott and then Dr. Dave and Dr. Jill. But you know what? The question that just came into my mind was, how can we be having this conversation with our kids? Because, you know, you have teenagers, like I have teenagers. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, gosh, if I ever really had the comparison conversation with my children, and I'm not sure that I have. The closest I've ever come to it is I've reminded them that 10% of the people contribute to the 90% of the content online. So while it feels like everybody's got this, it's everybody of the 10%. It's really, and that's important to note, right? It isn't 90% of the population has all this crazy shit. 10% of the population has this crazy shit. And so, well, I'll just ask you personally, like, have you had a comparison conversation with your kids? And if so, what did that sound like?
Honestly, if there's anything that comes up, whether it's on social media or my kids seeing something someone else has, we say, good for them. That's great. Like, we're happy for them. We're not comparing ourselves to them. Like my daughter the other day, she's like, yeah, so-and-so, they had, like, she sent me this video and she's so much better than me at volleyball. And I looked at her and I said, even if she is, we celebrate her. Like, that was an awesome hit. Like, we're so excited for her. And her making a great hit doesn't take from the fact that you're absolutely amazing and you're awesome. Right? When what we want to say is, oh no, babe, you're so much better. You're great. Whether it's true or not, that's what we get to have language around. Like, we get to celebrate the other woman in the room, the other guy in the room that's doing something amazing, because it has nothing to do with your level of success. And this takes training. This takes practice. Same thing with my son. He goes to a private school and there are some social media influencers, like families that go there and they make millions of dollars. And there's this one girl that he knows that's in his grade, and she got some new Porsche something. I don't know. I think I might have told you this story. Got a new Porsche as a sophomore in high school. It's like a 911 something. I don't know.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is great. Good for her. That's wonderful. And he's like, you won't even buy me a car. And I'm like, her having a Porsche has nothing to do with you. You get to say, that's awesome. Like, congrats. That's so amazing. And so it's human instinct, I think, to have this comparison game going on, but it's practicing the repetition and the language around it to celebrate that other person, not to make it mean something's lacking in us. And that just takes work. That's all it does. Is it definitely takes work. But I will say, like, my kids see my social media. My kids see my personal social media, and they also see my happy social media. Like, right. So we have the business side and we have the me side. And when they see it, it's like, they know, like, mom isn't in, full glam and blowout. Like, that's not like normal. But if I go on a stage, I'm wearing a suit, matching suit, head to toe. I got my hair blown out. I have more makeup on. Like, they know because they see that. But that's not the normal. That's not the normal. Most people aren't seeing that. Like, these kids aren't seeing that maybe necessarily to the extent that my kids do see it.
Fantastic. So as we wind up today, I think if there's two takeaways from me, the first one is that jealousy is my signal. It's my trigger. It's my it's my signal. I like the way you put that. It's my signal that, oh, well, hold on a second. Why is that showing up? And
Mhm.
then the other big takeaway that I have from you is celebrate them. Like, why would you get pissed or angry or any
Yeah.
of those things? Be like, good for them. Good for
Yeah.
them, man. They tore it up.
Yeah.
Well, since you mentioned social media, one of the things I want to end with is, and I paid you this compliment up front, but I have to
You
show
did.
everybody this. This might be one of the greatest social media posts that I have seen in so long. And you put this up over the weekend. And the top part says, I wish I was able to get a bigger sign for my business. And then you have a picture of you as a little kid and you says, wait, we have our own business? And then this one says, I wish I'd used a more positive title for my book. And then the little kid is like, wait, we wrote a book? And then I'll just do one more. It's like, I hope to book more keynote presentations. And it's like, wait, we can talk in front of thousands of random people. I just felt like that was such an amazing post because the reason, one of the things I wanted to end with you today was I want to challenge every single person that's listening to us or watching us right now on YouTube to be thinking the same way. What have you already achieved in your life that's so freaking awesome that your 12-year-old would be like, are you kidding me? We have that?
Yeah.
And don't you think what a great thing to march into this new week with that new mentality of what do you already have that the
Mhm.
little kid version of you would be blown away at?
Mhm.
Think about that. And I wonder, what kind of feedback did you receive from that post?
Oh, well, you know what? I haven't even like gone on social media to look. I don't know.
Ah,
Other than you sharing, I think it was posted Saturday. I think it was Saturday.
okay, so it's a pretty fresh post.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's the other thing is I really have boundaries too around my social media. I
Mm.
don't I don't doom scroll. I'm not really like engaging in like how did how did this post go, but I do have people that private message me. And I love it when I receive that, especially like past clients or current clients, and they're following my personal page. And two, they've worked with me, so they know my heart, and they're like, I just appreciate like the realness of that. But that's another thing is I'm kind of bad about like, well, I'm good about it, but like I don't really engage as a lot on there to really
It's
see
okay.
how
I just
are
wondered if anybody even in your office pulled you aside and was like, that gutted me. Like that got me
yeah.
thinking so hard
I'm gonna
about.
check after we're done with this call. I will check because I probably have a couple DMs and there's probably a couple comments or something on there. So I will check.
All right, do it.
Yeah.
For anybody that wants more, Dr. Anna Marie Frank, the book is called Stop Bullying Yourself. You can also find her online. And we've, let me put this up right now. You can go to at happywholeyou.com and check out her site. And just don't forget, she's with us every single Monday at 12:30 our time. Hey, Doc, thanks a lot for everything today. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah. Thanks. See you next week.
Okay. Thanks everybody for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We're building a new channel here and we'd love to have you along for the ride. Have a great rest of your day.